What's up, YouTube? So, in this video, I'm going to be doing my mock draft for the 2021 NFL draft, rather. Now, a couple things to preface before we get into it. One, I am recording this as of Wednesday morning, so there could be a trade at some time today or tomorrow that could change the draft order, but just keep in mind, I don't know when this is going to come out. It's probably going to come out the morning of the draft. But just know I recorded it Wednesday morning, so that would be why these picks are the way they are. Also, I am not doing who I think these teams will take. It's who I think that they should take. Because predicting who they will take is kind of more difficult because you have to account for teams not knowing how to draft. So that just is what that is. Also, I'm only doing the first round because after that, it's pretty hard to predict. So, yeah. Anyway, starting off at number 1, I do have control over all 32 teams. And I'm also not doing trades. So, everyone is pretty much assuming that Jacksonville is going to take Trevor Lawrence. I disagree. I don't think that they should. I think that they probably will take Trevor Lawrence, but if you watch my quarterback ranking, you would know I have Zach Wilson above him, so Zach Wilson to Jacksonville. Now, for the Jets, they need a quarterback too. Zach Wilson's gone, go Trevor Lawrence. Easy. Now, San Fran is interesting because they definitely need to take a quarterback too. You don't trade up all the way to 3 and have this whole mess if you're not planning on getting a quarterback. Now, this talk of them getting Trey Lance or Mac Jones is blasphemy to me. They might do it, but I wouldn't. I would sprint to the podium to go get Justin Fields. Now, Atlanta, they're a team where the fan base is pretty split. Half of them want to go get a quarterback now while they're actually sitting at 4, and the other half want to ride with Matt Ryan and build the house around him and then get a quarterback. I'm more so in that opinion because I don't think any of these guys available is good enough to be 4th overall, and leaving Kyle Pitts on the board is just crazy to me, and taking one of those quarterbacks over him. Now, Cincinnati, their whole team is based around Joe Burrow at this point, and you want to make him as comfortable as possible. Later in the draft, they definitely need to address offensive line so you can keep him upright. But for now, let's get a receiver that he's comfortable with. The Miami Dolphins, which is my team, I kind of played around with taking Rashawn Slater here for a long time. But the more I think about it and the more I got into this class, the more I realized that there are some tackles I wouldn't mind taking with our 18th pick. Now, if we only had one first-round pick, I would immediately go for Slater. But because we have another first-rounder, I'm comfortable taking Devontae Smith here. And yes, I do technically have Jalen Waddle ranked slightly higher as a receiver than Devontae Smith, but it's very close. It's like 1A, 1B for me. And the reason I take Smith for the Dolphins specifically is because the Dolphins have Jakeem Grant, they have Albert Wilson, they have Lynn Bowden. We have guys that get yak yards, but we really don't have route runners. We have Will Fuller signed on for a year, and we don't know how healthy he's going to be, and he's another deep threat too at the end of the day. So having a true route runner would be better than just another speed guy for me. Even though Jalen Waddle is more than just a speed guy. He's a good route runner too, just not like Devontae. So that just is what that is. The Detroit Lions, they are in a situation where they could get pretty much anything. They could kind of throw they could just kind of throw something at the board and hope it sticks. But right now, the best player available is Rashawn Slater, so they should just run to the podium and go get him. And getting O-line help can't ever hurt. Next, Carolina. Now, for a long time, I would have said that they should take a quarterback. But they did just trade for Sam Darnold, so I'm sure that they'll probably want to try to build around him at least. So with that being said, I think that they should just take the best player available, and right now that is Penei Sewell. Now, with Denver on the clock, they're not sold on Drew Lock, and I don't blame them. They should go ahead and take Trey Lance now. I definitely think so. Dallas Cowboys. Their defense struggled really, really hard last year. And right now, I think a good corner to pair with Diggs, I think would really help them a lot. And there isn't really any defensive lineman worth taking at 10, so I would go ahead and take J.C. Horn if I were Dallas. I don't know if they would, but I think that they should. The New York Giants, they're another situation where they could kind of go in a lot of different places, but the two big offensive linemen are gone. So they really should just take the best player available, and in this case, that would be the last truly elite player, and that is Jalen Waddle. The Philadelphia Eagles, they need quite a bit as well. They have needed corner help for a very long time, so if I were them, I would go ahead and take a corner. I think that Patrick Surtain would probably fit Philly a little bit better than someone like Greg Newsome, so I would probably go with him. The Chargers. Honestly, none of the offensive linemen available are worth taking at 13 right now. You could argue maybe Darisaw if you really are sold on him, but I think that they should just go ahead and take JOK. Just take best player available, and I think that wouldn't hurt him. This next pick with Minnesota, this one is one that definitely does take some balls because there is a lot of worry with this pick because of the injury concern. But if it works out, he's such an amazing player, and that is Jalen Phillips. I think because Minnesota's defense did struggle last year, and I think getting Jalen Phillips on that D-line would improve them so much. He's by far the most talented edge rusher in this class. New England. Sorry, there was a weird sound coming from outside. But New England should definitely go quarterback here. Mac Jones is still there. They should run to the podium to go get him. It's pretty basic. So, yeah. Cardinals. They're trying to get rid of Patrick Peterson because he's getting kind of old, so I would kind of go to the podium and go get a corner. I would take Greg Newsome just because, one, I think he's better than Caleb Farley. And with Caleb Farley's back injury, it's pretty scary to be taking him at 16. So I think that this would be a pretty good pick. The Raiders, I know that they really need some linebacker help. And honestly, I just see Zaven Collins being a very good fit for them. I think Zaven Collins would greatly improve what the Raiders are going to be doing. So, yeah. I talked about it multiple times. I've done so many mock draft sims. This is my pick at 18. Tevin Jenkins. This dude is criminally underrated. Because I'm a Dolphins fan, I'll go ahead and say it. If Tevin Jenkins isn't available, I'll go and take probably like Landon Dickerson here and then take like Dylan Radunes in the second. Something like that. Because I am a big fan of Tevin Jenkins. He's angry as hell. Technically superior than a lot of the guys below him. And just overall, just a very, very talented player. So, that is why he is my pick. Washington, they're out of quarterback range. I wouldn't be surprised if Washington does trade up to go get one of these quarterbacks. They probably should. But again, I'm not doing trades. So, I think that they should probably just go best player available, and the best player available isn't even here on this website like ranked anywhere near here, but I think he's way better than he's being talked about. I think they should go for an offensive weapon, though, to start building the house for whoever they do get at quarterback eventually, and I would take Austin Watkins from UAB. Pair him up with Terry McLaurin. I think that would be a pretty crazy receiving core. The Chicago Bears. If I were the Bears, I'd probably just sprint to the podium to go get Landon Dickerson, to be honest. I think to just help beef up that offensive line. I know a lot of people are scared of the injuries, and I get it, but he is just such a fantastic player that I'd be willing to take the risk. Like I said, if Tevin Jenkins was gone, I would have taken him at 18 for my team. So, Indy, they could use an edge rusher. And for me, the best edge rusher available right now is Kwity Paye. You can make the argument for Azeez Ojulari, but I would take Paye. But I wouldn't argue with you if you prefer the other. So here, I think Tennessee would be the team to actually grow some balls here and take the second best corner in this class, and that's Kelvin Joseph. They've showed that they have more balls than a lot of teams as far as character concerns go. So I feel like that they might actually take a chance on him, because if he does work out, he could have the potential to be such an elite corner in this league. So yeah, Jets. You guys just drafted Zach Wilson in this case, so you guys should go get a receiver to help you out. Go ahead and take Rashad Bateman to help him out. Pittsburgh. They really could just throw a dart at the board and take whoever it lands on at this point. They need so much. But I think Nick Bolton in Pittsburgh would make a lot of sense. I think he really fits what they're doing very, very well. And I think he would just be a fantastic Steeler. Jacksonville, in this case... I'm sorry. The Jets would have Trevor Lawrence, not Zach Wilson. Jacksonville has Zach Wilson in this case. And you guys should help him out by protecting him. In this case, the best way to... is he at guard on here? Yeah. Elijah Vera Tucker. He's listed as a guard here. I'd play him at tackle. But you could play him at guard too. Either way works. So yeah, I think that would be a very, very good pick for Jacksonville to help protect him a little bit. You could also go receiver, but I'd probably go O-line before they run out. Cleveland, I would definitely go tackle here. Dylan Radune's the best one still left, so I would go ahead and sprint to the podium to go get him. That was one of the issues last year, was their tackle spot. So yeah. Baltimore always seems to be looking for a receiver, and for me, the best one available would be Eskridge at this point. He's one of my favorite receivers in this entire class. So, very explosive, very fast, very good route runner. Now, if you want more of a yak guy, Elijah Moore or Rondale Moore might be more what you want. But if you're looking for a route runner, I think Dwayne Eskridge is better. And I just kind of prefer that. So, this next pick, honestly, just kind of depends on how bad the injury report really is. But I would take Caleb Farley if I were the Saints. They have a lot around them right now. And I think that they have the room where if he can't play right away, it might be okay. So, and he is the best player available, just like skill-wise. So, yeah. Green Bay, I think, should probably go receiver to try to help out Aaron Rodgers and maybe try to convince him to stay. Or O-line, either one works. In this case, honestly, with what's available, I'd probably go and take Darisaw to help protect him. But I think if you wanted to argue that they should go receiver, I think that's fine too. Buffalo has a lot of places that they can go, but I think the first running back off the board, Najee Harris to Buffalo, would make a lot of sense. Especially in their cold environment. I think them wanting to really pound the football would be really, really good. I think pairing him up with Zach Moss and Devin Singletary would make such a terrifying backfield to deal with. It makes me kind of scared just thinking about it from a Dolphins perspective. But it just is what it is. Yeah, so Baltimore. I had taking a receiver before. Now, they did trade up, so this is no longer Kansas City's pick. So at this point, I'd probably go offensive line, to be honest. But same time, making that defense even more of a strength would be really good. And with his upside, Micah Parsons would be really difficult to pass up. So, it's just, he's the best player available at that point. And the same thing goes for this pick right here. Yeah, Tampa Bay taking Azeez Ojulari. I don't know what this is. Oh. That's cool. So, yeah, that is my mock draft. I love to hear what y'all's thoughts are on it. I do like Azeez Ojulari. I think he's a very upsidey player. I think he has a lot to work on, but he has a lot of physical tools, and I think him in Tampa would be pretty scary. So, yeah. Anyway, I think that's going to be it for this video. If you liked it, appreciate hitting that like button. If you have any questions or comments in the comments down below, subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you next time. Bye, guys.